Welcome back to Graveyard Dance. We hope you've all been doing well and catching up on some of our older vids. We've got nearly 150 up so far, and we don't plan on slowing down anytime soon. This week, we're going to take you back to the late 1940s and what was, for the most part, a much more simpler time. A time when it was safe for people to walk the street, when kids could go outside and play, and when lovers could park their cars out on Lover's Lane, and well, you know. The kind of crime that you're about to hear about now was unheard of then. People trusted each other in those days. Neighbors were friends with their neighbors and didn't hesitate to stop for someone in need of a helping hand. That's what makes this case so much more shocking. In the annals of Texan history, there exists a chilling chapter known as the Texas Moonlight Murders. These gruesome events unfolded during a terrifying period in the 1940s. Leaving communities in a state of fear and confusion. This article delves into the details of the Texas Moonlight Murders, exploring what transpired during these haunting events and the ultimate conclusion to the case. The story begins in Texarkana, a quiet and close-knit community on the border between Texas and Arkansas. In 1946, this peaceful town was rocked by a series of murders that occurred under the cover of darkness. The assailant was nicknamed the Phantom Killer, due to his elusive nature and the eerie mask he wore. The attacks occurred at night on weekends between February 22nd and May 3rd, targeting male-female pairs. The Texas Moonlight Murders began in February 1946 when a young couple, Jimmy Hollis and Mary Jean Larry, were attacked by the mysterious killer just shy of midnight while parked in a secluded area. Miraculously, they survived and provided crucial information to the police. A strange-looking man wearing what looked like a pillowcase over his head with only one eye cut out walked up to the car and shined his light in and demanded they get out. He ordered Hollis to remove his pants, and when he did, took the barrel of a pew-pew and cracked his skull in with it. As her date laid unconscious on the ground, the terrified woman was confronted by the masked man who first told her to stand and then told her to run. When she did, he caught up with her and asked her why she ran. She told him that he had told her to, and he called her a liar and then assaulted her with his weapon. When she woke up, she ran to a nearby house and got help and called the police. Her ordeal was over for now, but for the rest of Texarkana, their terror was just starting to begin. Over the following months, the Phantom Killer struck again and again. The victims were typically young couples, attacked while parked in lovers' lanes. On March 24th, 29-year-old Richard Griffin and his 17-year-old girlfriend Polly and Moore were found dead in their car by a passing motorist. The motorist saw the parked car on a lover's lane just south of U.S. Highway 67 West in Texas. Richard was in the front seat and had been shot multiple times, including once to the back of the head. After he was deceased, the deranged killer emptied the victim's pockets of whatever money he may have had. His girlfriend Polly was shot outside on a blanket according to blood evidence, and was carried and thrown into the car face down in the back seat. Just after midnight on April 14th, 17-year-old Paul Martin picked up 15-year-old Betty Jo Booker from a musical performance at the VFW Club at West 4th and Oak Street. Martin's body was found at around 6:30 later that morning, lying on its left side by the northern edge of North Park Road. Blood was found on the other side of the road by a fence. He had been shot 4 times, through the nose, through the ribs from behind, in the right hand, and through the back of the neck. Booker's body was found by a search party at about 11:30, almost 2 miles from Martin. Her body was behind a tree and lying on its back, fully clothed. It was posed with the right hand in the pocket of the buttoned overcoat. Booker had been shot twice, once through the chest and once in the face. The same type of weapon had been used in all the murders so far, which was a .32 caliber pistol. On Friday, May 3rd, sometime before 9 p.m. 37-year-old Virgil Starks and his 36-year-old wife Katie were at home on their farm almost 10 miles northeast of Texarkana. What was a quiet, peaceful night at home suddenly turned into a night of horror. As he sat in his armchair resting, shots came pouring through a locked window, striking him twice in the back of the head, killing him nearly instantly. Katie ran from the other room to see her husband start to stand up, only to fall back down and die instantly. Back in those days, they had wall crank phones. You couldn't just call someone direct. It had to be cranked, which brought up an operator, and then she would connect you to whoever you want to call. As she was trying to get help from the local police, she too was shot in the fact, but it didn't kill her. She heard the killer coming in the house and she ran out of the home through another door and tried to get help from relatives who lived next door, but they weren't home. She tried other neighbors and they took her in, and the men set out after the elusive killer with their own guns, but couldn't find him. According to Katie, Virgil had told her that he had heard a car outside several nights in a row and was terrified that he was going to be killed by the lunatic on the loose. Sadly, he was right. Katie did manage to live though, although I'm sure she was never the same again. The murders sent shockwaves through Texarkana, and fear gripped the community. Residents began locking their doors and windows, and the streets grew deserted at night. Law enforcement agencies from both Texas and Arkansas joined forces to hunt down the elusive killer. The investigation into the Texas Moonlight murders was one of the largest and most intense manhunts in Texan history. However, despite numerous leads and extensive efforts, the phantom killer continued to elude capture. The turning point in the case came when a potential suspect, Yoel Swinney, was apprehended. Swinney was found in possession of stolen property and was questioned about his involvement in the murders. Although he confessed to some crimes, he denied being the phantom killer. With the arrest of Yoel Swinney, the Texas Moonlight murders finally came to an end. Swinney was convicted of various crimes, including burglary and auto theft, but the evidence linking him to the murders was not strong enough for a conviction. The Texas Moonlight murders left an indelible mark on Texarkana's history and the broader Texan psyche. The community, scarred by the horrors of that period, remained cautious and vigilant for years to come. To this day, the true identity of the phantom killer remains a mystery. Some believe that Swinney was the culprit, while others argue that the killer may have escaped justice, leaving a lingering sense of unease in the region. The Texas Moonlight murders stand as a chilling testament to the capacity for evil that can lurk in the shadows. The series of gruesome events in Texarkana in the 1940s not only claimed lives but also shattered the sense of security in a once tranquil community. While the case remains officially unsolved, it serves as a grim reminder of the importance of community vigilance and the enduring quest for justice. Hope you all liked today's story. It sure was a dark one for sure. If you did, you'd be helping us so much to grow if you'd click the like button on the video and the subscribe button along with the notification bell. Also, tell your friends about us. You can see all our work by going to graveyarddance.com and clicking videos and scrolling back. We have quite the body of work if you like spooky content. We're always looking for new content to cover, so if you have a story idea, drop it in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Merch is here at this link and social medias are here at these. Till next time, thanks for watching y'all.